What's going on, people? Welcome back to another JSTV. Back again is the match review and game between Fulham and Newcastle, and where Newcastle won by 2-0 yesterday in the FA Cup fourth round. Goals by Sean and Dan got us through to the fifth round. And a big up to you, Paul. How are you, man?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, it was a bit of a dodgy game, but we got the job done. That's about all that matters, really. And Norwich have proven why you don't play out the back against Liverpool, because they are just getting absolutely pummeled here.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, Alan Brazil hits that. You listen to Talk Sport, he absolutely hits that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Maybe it's old school, but if you do that back in those days, you get caught out, they rip you apart. I'm telling you. But it is what it is, man. But thanks for joining everyone in the chat as well. If you like what you watch, make sure you like and sub the channel as well. And if you like the super chat, then dollar signs there, 19. Just give what the channel is worth as well. Hi to Leslie. Yeah, I've seen that. I think it's absolutely shocking, Paul, what happened at the Hawthorns, man. I mean, apparently the Wolves fans to the West Brom were there, apparently.
Yeah, and then some of the pictures I've seen are quite horrific as well. One bloke bleeding everywhere. On the floor, kids. One of the players pulled a kid out because he was getting in danger. I mean, do you know what I mean? That. We're not in the 70s or 80s anymore. It's time to grow up. You know what I mean? It really is time to grow up. If you can't, I get that people go in home ends, or it happens often. This isn't new, but if you can't go in a home end and behave yourself and just play along, then what's the point of going? Do you know what I mean? There's been many people that have been in St James's Park who have been, fans of the away support and been perfectly respectful, perfectly lovely people who just couldn't quite get a ticket up in the gods and have been, nothing but no problem. I just don't understand it. I don't understand why you come to a game for a fight. It's bizarre.
Very bizarre. This is the 21st century, not the 19th century, 20th century. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to lie to you, because we don't want to see that anywhere in football grounds as well. Those days should be over, should be up. And unfortunately, right, it's creeping back yet again. And I just don't understand it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sorry, excuse me. Bad time for yawn. I agree, mate. It's just, like I said, you don't want to see it. Scenes like kids being pulled out to keep them safe, and people being pulled out covered in blood and stuff. That's just, do you know what I mean? There's no room for it. There's no room for it in any sport, football, whatever. It's just a shame, because it's ruined. It's ruined when a draw is. Ruined. It could have suspended the game. It could have been replayed. Blah blah blah. It's just ridiculous. People have paid for the trip there. All that. It's just, it just needs to be stopped. I mean, that's, to be fair, that's the first time I've seen that in a long time. Apart from, I say that, it wasn't crowd trouble, but that was a bit weird yesterday with the fan trying to beat up the ref. Don't know if you saw that yesterday.
Oh, that's awful.
Run onto the pitch trying to get the ref. It's just, there's a few people unhinged out there. The stewards need to be doing a better job as well, though, to be fair. They just need to let people run past.
Facts, absolute facts. I mean, I know I've got a feel for the stewards as well, trying to do their job as well. They don't get a lot of money for it, but they do want to put their lives in danger and that sort of thing. But that is the thing. I can go back in the old days. There's no stewards back in the day. There's all police. And I tell you what, they think, okay, cool, let's do that. Try and make a name for himself, yeah? Ban him for life. Still. There's a dodgy game, indeed it was. We scored 2 goals and they kept a clean sheet. Can't ask for more than that in the cup. It was in the classic. Hi to Jules and Alan and Gary and everyone in the chat as well. Welcome abroad. And let's go on to Avas as well. Hi to Alan as well. I think I may have forgotten, yeah. And everyone to Alan and Lorraine. Hi to Lorraine. I hope you're good. And everyone else in the chat as well. Right, let's go on to the game, right? And the team lineup. Jacob Murphy. It's good to see Jacob Murphy back. Miggy is being dropped all together. I mean, he wasn't in the team. And also Lascelles was in the team as well. But looks like he's going to go off to Turkey. But going back to Miggy before we talk about the game, Craig Hawkes come out and said that he was ill. Eddie Howe said exactly the same thing, right? And who did the hell do we believe? Is Miggy really going to go off to Saudi? Because he went into the RVI and had his medical, or he's supposed to go there for the family. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem with January, isn't it? The rumours are going to be so far in between, and what's real and what isn't. I mean, look, there's been pictures of Miggy's misses with COVID masks on, things like that. So there could be some truth behind it. Maybe Miggy was getting a test or an maybe a jab. You just don't, who knows for definite. But it's bad timing when he's been linked with a move, and then you're seen going into a hospital. it's just not the best of times, I guess. At the end of the day, look, we've got a couple more days until the end of the window. We'll know by the end of it if Miggy's staying or not. I mean, Eddie seems a bit, in his press conference after the game, he seems a bit like in the dark about a lot of this stuff. Said that he didn't even know what was going on. He said he didn't get an invite to the meeting. Apparently, I don't know if Eddie's just winding us up with that because he doesn't always tell us the exact truth. So it's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, for me, it just looks a bit odd when you've got all of the speculation. Miggy's then out, dropped of the game, and it just seems to land on the day the way he's been linked with a move. So who knows? Like you said, I wouldn't be shocked if he stayed, and I wouldn't be shocked if he went. There's either one wouldn't exactly shock me. Again, in the press conference, I think it's Craig Hope asked him, if you could shut the window right now, no incomings and no outgoings, would you shut the window right now? And Eddie Howe was like, yeah, I would. I really would. I'd just shut it right now. So I think that shows you his sort of thoughts on what he wants, really. I guess it depends on above him if they have any ideas of incomings or outgoings or whatever. I mean, like I said, if you do get rid of, my big issue is if you get rid of Almiron, let's say he goes before the end of the deadline, my biggest problem is, no problem, if you let him go, no problem, but we need a replacement this window. You cannot sell him and then be short. Do you know what I mean? Like we can't do that to ourselves. We're already low on numbers as it is. So if we're selling someone, I have no problem with that, but have someone in mind. Because Brentford have just bought a player that we were after. Well, they put it on. I think it's pretty much done. But they've just bought what's his face?
Nusa. Is it Nusa?
Yeah, he's
going to go. And he's going to stay with them until the end of the season. And I'll tell you what now as well. I mean, I've seen people on social media put out saying they're after this player, after that player. But I'm not going to put the blame on the fans. I'll put the blame on all these puppet journalists, right? Writing that crap, right? Football London's the worst, right? They are the worst because they go there, right, thinking they're going to be future media. The big names in there. Football London is crap. There's other journalists there as well, right? I'm kind of sick of it, yeah? They're always going to put our name, right, next to someone else's, like Napoli, Madrid, Chelsea, and that sort of thing. We were not after these kind of players. We were not. And that really winds us up now, do you know what I mean? These journalists, right, they'll be careful what they write down because I'm getting kind of sick of it now. Do you know what I mean? The one's going to believe it's the club itself, not these puppet journalists. So they can get in the bin. Anyway. Eddie body's language was different yesterday. Well, I didn't see that, Gary, but if that is true, that ain't good. And go on to others as well. Our mid looked a bit weak. Fulham got through our midfield like a knife through butter. Is worrying. Need a CDM. We do, Alan. We do need a DM, 100%. But we're badly missing Joel Linton big time. We're going to come on to that as well. And we're going to talk about Bruno too. Miggy went through the children's block entrance yesterday or whatever it was. So if he was ill, he shouldn't have gone through that entrance. Hope this boy isn't the one who is ill. I'll just praise him as not. And I hope you are true. I hope that he's not ill. I hope he's okay. Whatever it is, do you know what I mean? So, and Alan, got a chance at Alan, that they wouldn't leave any gaps this time. Seem all three were protecting the back four. He did in parts. I've seen that as well. Marley had a great game, amazing, great passes to Gordon. Seems a lot of comments saying Lewis should have been man of the match. He could have just about 3 or 4 players man of the match. I thought Sven Botman was fantastic yesterday. Real talk. He was brilliant. Watching Fulham bringing on Jimenez was a bit frustrating in comparison to our bench options. All the while, talking about whether we're letting Miggy go without a replacement and tying the FFP. Jez, you know what you own, mate. I mean, this FFP is designed to stop clubs like us spending billions of pounds here and try and break it into the top 6, yeah? Simple as that. And nah. Maybe
hang on, Gary. Was the ham there or not? Because if the ham's not there, he's not in Newcastle. I'm sorry. You cannot have a peace pudding statue without the ham on it, buddy.
Fat. Absolutely.
That's amateur. That's amateur stuff. Because he got the sarsaparilla as well. If he hasn't got the sarsaparilla, he's also not on the right track.
Exactly. Totally agree there. Check it out. Because I don't eat stotty cake. I've tried it once. I'm not too keen on it. Do you know what I mean? But if I try it again, I might like it.
I resign. I'm leaving the studio.
Hey! Sorry.
That is shocking.
Nah. If you like it, cool. But, nah.
Wow.
When was the last time I tried it?
Bombshell.
Sorry.
Bombshell.
I like it anyway. I do like it.
Oh, wow.
Is that a yellow card?
It's a yellow card from the comments are going to be on you, I reckon.
We'll see what the comments say. All but Gary thought the midfield was done. I couldn't see my binoculars, Paul. Basking Gary. Almost time for the 5th round draw as well. Yes, we go for that as well. Let's go on through the game. And we've gone for the line. Jacob came back in, which is good. And no excuses. They look fit, they look well, and plenty of energy about them. But we could have gone ahead earlier on when Murphy had a shot. So it was a mix-up in the Fulham defence, and he shot straight at Leno. That set the tone, really. And then Fulham had a good chance as well when Dubravka made a fantastic save as well. So I thought the passing, Paul, was sloppy. He kept giving the ball away, especially in the midfield. I thought Bruno was well off yesterday. I can't lie.
Let's get something straight, okay?
Go on.
You can play badly and get through a result, and that's exactly what we did yesterday. This is going to be a negative because I thought I'm sorry, first half in particular, we were awful. There's no other way to describe that first half. It was terrible. It was really bad. Murphy, you want to scream at him again? Put it in the back of the net. You know, yes. Everyone's heard that quote over and over again. It's the same problem. I mean, look, he's rusty. I'm going to let him off a little bit. The second bit, even though it's offside, that's what you should have done. But never mind. It worked in the end, but never mind. But the first half in particular, Fulham ran us ragged. I mean, Marco Silva that was a good plan from him there. You know, he did make 8 changes, and I thought that's interesting. When I saw the team, I was like, oh, that is an interesting choice. Whether that's going to be to their detriment or to their advantage. And I'll tell you what, they look the fresher team than us, even though we've had the longer break. You know, him making those changes revitalized Fulham, which was interesting to see. We looked very out of ideas early on in the first half, very early on. And again, a bit like I'm watching now with Norwich, we were getting ourselves in our own bother. We were playing around at the back, stupid, giving the ball away so often. It was so frustrating. It was like, you know, Dubravka was passing it to Trippier, and Trippier was passing it then, and Botman's passing it back, and then we get the ball taken, and you're like, stop, throw it, you know, just do a long ball once now and again, because Fulham have got it. They understand what we're trying to do. We did the same to them, to be fair. It's not as if we weren't trying to press them when they were doing playing at the back, because they got themselves nearly caught out a few times. You know, it really is frustrating when we do this often. We play so slow at times. We've got all this pace up front, and at the back, we just seems to be really plodding football at times. It really does boil your blood. You know, Fulham they're going to look back on that game and wonder how the hell they didn't win. I mean, I know they didn't exactly pummel Dubravka's goal. It wasn't exactly like we were up against it the whole game or anything, but I mean, Fulham played well enough to win that game. I'm not gonna pretend that they didn't, because I'd be a liar. I'm a Newcastle fan, obviously, so I'm happy that we played badly and still managed to get the result, because that just shows you're a good team. But yeah, first half in particular, I thought we were really, really poor, and I thought the first 10 minutes of the second half were bad.
Yeah,
to be honest,
awful.
You know, we got the goal. And I felt the goal was quite fortunate. Look, I mean, I don't know if you want to get into it now or wait. But the handball stuff, I was convinced that VAR were going to chalk it off. Not because I think it is handball, but it's a hard one. It's a great cross and Trippier. It's fantastic cross and Trippier. It's headed into a very dangerous area, so that's really good. It's kind of flicked up, and Bruno, I know he hasn't meant it, but he has flicked his arm. And it's landed perfectly into Sean. I tell you what, that's some finish. That shows you that Sean
wasn't just.
But I was a bit worried because I saw the handball, when I was watching the coverage, and I was like, oh, I've seen these being, chalked off before because there's that slight handball or whatever. Common sense, I think, paid off, and they said, what can Bruno do? He doesn't know anything about it. So I was happy that stood, but I felt it was quite fortuitous, that goal. And then obviously don't want to get too far ahead, but the second goal again, it was good work from us, but again, a bit fortunate because the goalkeeper hasn't covered himself in glory there. He should really be holding on to that. I mean, it's a great header for Botman, but he should really be holding on to that. The goalkeeper, he's literally palmed it right in front of Dan Burn. He's got the easiest finish of his career to just poke it into the net for 2-0, and then it's game over, really. But yeah, it was, like I say, we'll definitely play better than that this season. But I still think it shows a good team who can play pretty bad and still get a result.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the first half was the worst I've seen for quite a while. Given the by the way, I can't really add to that, Paul, because you're absolutely right. Because at the end of the day, we could play better than that. Do you know what I mean? But our passing, yes, we looked a bit rusty in parts. I get that, but we can't do this against Villa on Tuesday night. We just can't, because we get ripped apart. Because they will find us out very, very quickly. You got Ollie Watkins, you got Leon Bailey, you got Moussa Diaby as well. Their front three, I tell you what, they look absolutely frightening, and we got to defend better than that. But if we did that, if Sven Botman's there, right, I think it'll be fine. I think he's a really good defender. I thought he was excellent yesterday. He won so many aerial battles, especially in the first half. I thought he's the only plus sign in a minute for me. The rest of them, right, giving the ball away, I thought Isak, I think he did well. And Bruno was poor, I'm not going to lie, but he ain't the only one. I thought Lewis Minor was okay. I thought Sean Longstaff did a bit better. And it is what it is. But I'm happy with the 3 points. And, 2 weeks off, no excuses, no tiredness as well. Anthony Gordon, I thought he did bits as well, Paul. I thought he really did bits, but his decision making, especially the second half, could have been a lot better.
Yeah, and Anthony Gordon kind of had an okay game. He wasn't. I thought he deserved to come off as a substitute. He didn't really, he was doing things here and there.
Poor decisions as well.
Yeah, just not releasing the ball. Like there was one really frustrating one in the second half when Gordon was clear and Isaac was in a perfect position for a pass. He doesn't make it, and it's like no, Isaac's like in. If you make that little diagonal pass, Isaac's in. Pretty much one-on-one with a goalkeeper. I'll give you 9 times out of 10 that Isaac scores that. So that's a bit frustrating. I thought Tino looked really good when he came on. That was nice. When he came in, I thought he looked really nice. Lots of endeavour. I mean, all right, he got some little things here and there a bit wrong, but otherwise, I thought he actually made a big difference when he came on. That was nice to see. But yeah, look, like I said, I don't think it was not a classic by us by any means of the situation. But look, it's our hoodoo with the FA Cup is everyone knows it. This is the first time in I can't remember how long now. When's the last time we were in the 5th round of this cup? Do you know what I mean? It's been that long. Eddie Howe literally said that he's never been here with us. Ever. Obviously, he hasn't. I don't think he ever got here with Bournemouth into the 5th round. So a lot of this is brand new territory. I think we got here under Bruce, didn't we? Is that the last time we got to the 5th round under Steve Bruce?
I think it was.
Yeah, I think that was in COVID.
It was.
Yeah,
that was in COVID. Man City. I think he lost to Man City.
Yeah. But yeah, so our famous bad luck not bad luck, it's just bad play a lot of times in the FA Cup is there to see. I mean, look, we've got the draw coming up any second after this break, and we'll just this will define our what we do in the cup. If we get a decent home draw, I back us to beat anybody. But if we get if they bloody pull us out against City away or something, do you know what I mean? Then you're gutted.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We go for the comments, so we're going to talk about Bruno as well. Murphy looked great for a guy who's been out for a while. Please keep those comments coming through. Smash the likes as well, please, guys. That'd be brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. And watch the first 20 of Liverpool. It was like watching paint dry. Then I had a look for a marriage ass. There we go again, Steve Boost. Yeah, Bruno's off again and off camera trying to Eddie for a hug. Yep, I have to agree. Afternoon to Joe. Joe, we're doing the preview tomorrow. I've got to get you on tomorrow, mate, if you're available. So get you on as well. Bruno's latest beer is due anytime soon. Didn't want to be away from home. It's from Lorraine. Considering the break and play Fulham second team, that's our worst performance of the season. Fortunately, we smashed and grabbed goals at the right time. Second goal killed the game for Fulham in the end and killed Silva as well.
Sorry, John, to interrupt you. Do you want me to Do you want me to call out the draws that's happened? I've got it on the TV.
Go on, mate.
So people might be ahead of me, sorry, but the guy's just putting his hand into the pot as I'm looking at it. So number 2, Blackburn, Rovers or Wrexham. Let's see who he pulls out them against. Let's have a look. Who's he got? Number 16, which is Newcastle United. We've got Blackburn or Wrexham away.
We never get a whole time, don't we?
We got Blackburn or Wrexham away.
Wow.
Chelsea, Aston Villa versus, let's have a look who they've got. Number 12. Who's number 12? Leeds or Plymouth. So Chelsea or Aston Villa against Leeds or Plymouth. Wow, look at that Blackburn. Oh, that's mad, isn't it? Well, at least it wasn't Man City. Number 3, Bournemouth. Let's see if Bournemouth get. Imagine if they get Man City.
Probably would.
They've got number 6, which is Leicester. Bournemouth versus Leicester. Oh, that's a nice tie.
It is. Both footballing sides.
Let's have a look. He's just putting his hand in again. We've got number 10, Liverpool or Norwich. So probably Liverpool. Let's just say Liverpool.
Yeah.
Who they're going to get. Please be Man City. Please be Man City. Please be Man City. Come on. Watford or Southampton. Oh.
They guess it easy, don't they, Liverpool?
Bloody hell, man. Dear me. Number 5, Bristol, City or Nottingham Forest. Watch this be Man City. I bet you £1 million is in Man City. They just get these the draws they get. Number 14, Newport or Man United. Well, you got to hope that Nottingham Forest get through and maybe Man United get beat by them. Number 4, Wolves. They'll probably pull Man City now after all that commotion.
He's done a good job, really, Gavin O'Neill. He's done a fantastic job.
Yeah, what a job.
What a manager he is.
They've got Brighton, so Wolves versus Brighton. Nice draw there for those. Maidstone could still get Man City. Number 7, Sheffield Wednesday or Coventry City. Oh, please pull Luton Town. Maidstone City might get Man City.
I hope so.
Number 9, they are. Oh, no, they're not. They'll be gutted. Man City are going to be playing Luton either way.
Who's Maidstone got?
Sheffield Wednesday or Coventry City.
Oh, great.
We could have pulled out Man City. That would have been the dream tie for them. So Luton Town have got Man City at home.
Wow.
Unlucky Maidstone.
Unlucky.
A ball away for Man City.
Yeah.
A dream tie for them that would have been. Well, there
you go. It is what it is. Would have stood as handball if Bruno scored, apparently. I already did get him an assist. And we had to get that together in the last 20 and assured Fulham was struggling at the end. The top of Fulham, they got no one up front. The problem with Jimenez, they haven't got a naturalised striker. That's what they need. And then Fulham will be fine. Thanks. Let's say big up to Tony G, by the way. Tony Claude, big up to you, my guy. I hope you're good. And do subscribe to Tony Claude on Gala TV's channel, TCGTV. Great guy, and he speaks absolutely facts. Oh, and by the way, he doesn't suffer fools gladly neither. He speaks straight and he doesn't mix his words neither. Back to winning ways and the clean sheet. And if I have been waiting for this for a long time, big up, guys. Big up to you, Geordie. And I hope you're good, man. And hats off to Tabaka. His saves gave us a strong foundation for the win at a time when he looked shoddy. His distribution was good as well. I think he did all right yesterday. Cracking save, by the way. And made a great low save. Yes, he did. There we go. We got Blackburn Rovers or Wrexham away.
Yeah, COVID ball, wasn't it? Oh, dear me.
COVID ball. Wow. I will drop you a message, Joe, and it'll be 7 o'clock tomorrow night, mate. So 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Away to Blackburn. Is that playing today, Blackburn, or playing tonight or tomorrow?
I'm not sure. Sorry, I'd have to look it up when they're playing.
Cool. Away from home, eh?
Again. I know. It's just.
It could have been worse, Gary. Could have been worse, mate.
Oh yeah, it could have been. But we just can't seem to get a break with getting a home game, can we?
Exactly. Would have been a full house next cup game full of Newcastle fans. Bring them on. I hope they give us 7,000 again like they did before Blackburn, if they beat Wrexham, of course. Big up to Static, by the way. He's a real one as well. Big goon as well. Hope you're good. Well done. Thank you very much indeed. And 12 likes. Do smash it up. That ain't enough. And big ups to Static in the chat as well. Both great Gula fans as well. And they're all Arteta out as well. If I was an Arsenal fan, I'll be Arteta out as well. Potential Alan Shearer derby incoming. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's go back to Bruno, right? I mean, watch Bruno yesterday. I mean, like Lorraine said, he was off. He was well off yesterday. Yeah, I mean, look, we love him, but we've got to say that if he doesn't play well, we got to talk about it. He wasn't at his best yesterday.
No.
And we love him.
I felt a few players were off yesterday. I just felt like it looked like it's funny, because obviously when you do have a break, obviously it's good for fitness and good for tired legs, but sometimes it's a detriment because it takes you out of like how you've clicked, So if you play a lot of games in a row, you kind of have like an understanding, don't you? Mm-hmm. So it seemed like one of those sort of games where we hadn't played together for a long time. It looked that way. We looked fitter. So that, as someone has always said about the second half, we did much better in the second half in that last 20 minutes because we were obviously more rested and more fit than Fulham were because they'd only played the other day. And Silva's trying to bring on other players who had played just the other day against Liverpool. So the fitness level showed in there, and we managed the game much better than we usually do. So that was the positive from yesterday. But yeah, like I say, Bruno didn't have his best game. He did some things here and there, a few decent balls. He kind of sent one of the players for a Mars bar. That was really nice. Then his ball to Isak just didn't really get to him, but that was a nice move from Bruno. He did some good things in the second half here and there. He went for a shot. I think he really wanted to score it. He was annoyed that it kind of got blocked because he saw an opening there. But that's the thing. If Bruno doesn't play a 9 out of 10 for us, we suffer, don't we? It's always that thing with Bruno. He brings so much to our midfield where if he has a game off, it shows the whole performance of the team. Like I said, he wasn't the only player who played not that great yesterday. There was a few people who had a bit of a day off yesterday. Like I said, these things happen. The important thing for me is we play better against Villa. I'm sure Eddie will say to them, we need to bring a lot more effort into that game. The thing that Villa do have, as much as they're dangerous going forward, the one thing we do know about Villa, and the one thing we have been really good at, and I hope we keep to this, we really punish teams for a high line. And that's the one thing that Villa do all the time. They have that high line. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tuesday is quite a high-scoring game for both teams because we can look frail at the back and so can Villa.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got to match and we've got to match their effort as well. If we can match Villa effort, they're definitely in the game. But if we play like we did since the first game of the season, then we'll definitely be in the game. But against the Villa side, they were 14 games straight before they lost against Sheffield United. But it's going to be tough. Watkins going to worry us with his pace as well. But we're going to have to defend really well. I mean, Bruno's going to have to be up for it as well. And we can talk about more of that tomorrow as well. I want to talk about Dan Burn. I mean, yeah, again, I like him, but again, right? I mean, Fulham got lots of joy on the side yesterday, and they targeted him every single time. But because of his lack of mobility, and he had a bit of injury as well before that as well. But he got a second goal, which got us the 3 points. And yeah, there was no danger from that. I thought Dan did okay. Yeah. I thought he defended well in bits, but again, they just targeted him every time.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people were kicking off at me in another show when I said that Dan Burn would start. If I said Dan Burn's fit, he starts, and people were going, "No, don't be stupid, Paul. Tino starts. Don't talk rubbish. It won't be Dan Burn." It's like, no. If Dan Burn's fit, he starts. It's that simple. You know, I know people want Tino to start, and so do I, but trust me, Eddie Howe, if Dan Burn's fit, Dan Burn starts. And like you said, they did definitely target him. You know, you saw they were going down that side a lot. He did some things that were okay here and there. I loved one of his tackles. One of their players kind of got in behind him, and he kind of tackled from behind and got the ball. That was a nice tackle. You know, he's good on corners, very good for defensive corners. And then obviously on the corner we scored, he was sharp. And got the goal. I mean, it's a tap in, but you know, you still got to be there to get it. Lee Dixon yesterday, anyone who watched the coverage yesterday, Lee Dixon, big fan of Newcastle, spent the whole 90 minutes slagging us off, saying how crap we were, how terrible we were. He wanted to give man of the match to a Fulham player, and he was annoyed he couldn't because we were winning. And then he just guessed. He was just like, "Oh, I'll just give it to Dan Burn because he scored." That's pretty much what Lee Dixon said. He's like, "I'll just give man of the match to Dan Burn because he scored a goal." Where I felt that our man of the match easily was Trippier. I thought Trippier was outstanding yesterday. I thought he was phenomenal. Some of the passing was unbelievable. Some of the defensive stuff that people might not have picked up on was really good, like really, really good. He looked much more. He looked better. He looked mentally better in this game. I mean, that little pass out when they got in behind us and he passed out for a corner. That's tough because that can be a goal easy. That could have been an own goal. And I thought that was really well done by Trippier. The cross that caused all the havoc for the first goal was Trippier. The corner, obviously, from Trippier. You know, so for me, I felt that Trippier was really hard done by Lee Dixon because I felt he was by far our best player on the pitch yesterday by country mile. Miley was decent as well yesterday, here and there. Sean played okay, but I felt personally that for me, I just didn't know what match Lee Dixon was watching. I mean, obviously he didn't like that we were winning, didn't like the fact that Fulham played okay and weren't getting the result, and he just didn't. He didn't really let it go. He talked about the whole game. He was saying like how awful we were, how terrible we were, it's embarrassing, the performance is bad. But it's like, mate, people play like this and win. No one cares when Man United does it. When they played awful and they get a win because they just, they get luck. I'm not saying we weren't lucky yesterday because we were, but at the end of the day, good teams can play not great and get a result. That's a sign of a good team. So, like I said, I'll take that all day.
Yeah, absolutely. Next round, the FA Cup, I'll be happy with that. Touched on Trippier as well. I thought, was it a spectacular performance? A solid one, yes. Was he the best? Was it his best performance? It wasn't the best, but he was excellent yesterday. It was a solid performance by KT, and if there's any doubt of him moving to Bayern Munich, and he just wants to stay with Newcastle United. Let's go to some more comments. I like this one. Hiya, John. Happy Sunday to you as well, Gia. Just wondering what times the social media Muppet Show starts. I've been told, Gia, I'm not allowed to do it. But if I get 10K, I may consider it. I may reconsider it. But at the minute, I've always agreed. Either Lee Gunner, my guy, does that, the social media Muppet Show. And I tell you what, he is absolutely brilliant at it as well. Everything has an off day. Bruno's only human. He'll come back at his best. Pele. Great late Penny. I hope Livermental starts on Tuesday. No disrespect to Dan Burn, but the average pace might be proved a bit too much for him. I agree, Jez. I totally agree.
I know, fair enough. I didn't know when they were playing. Sorry.
Exactly. We may have to play both. Could be. And can you clarify? I kind of did that. Big up to Brian, by the way. I hope you're good, Brian, and hope you're having a good day, mate. And enjoyed the game as well yesterday. Liverpool will play further up front on the right side or the left side. I thought he was decent yesterday when he came on, to be fair. Even left back live, mentioned Pack's defense and attack. When we have to, and guy here exactly. Yeah, so I mean, we'll talk about Eddie Howe as well. I mean, I said earlier on, but I think Gary mentioned it as well. But his body language was completely different yesterday, and I think he also said no one doesn't tell him what's going on with transfers, etc. I mean, do you think Eddie Howe is happy? According to what Gary said, because he needs to know. Go on.
No, I think he's happy. I just think that. I mean, look, in a perfect world, I think this is a problem with what the job title is, because these days they're not managers anymore. Even though we refer to them as managers, they're head coaches. You know, most of the people in the Premier League in charge of the club are a head coach. They're not a manager in that sense. And I think that in the past at Bournemouth, I think Eddie had a lot of say on who came into the club. You know, and they work well with their structure there. I think he obviously still has a say. I'm not saying he doesn't, but I think the way they've structured it in Newcastle, they want to be more like a proper football club, where, you know, Dan Ashworth's job is to find these players and stuff, and then another person's job is to do the negotiations, etc., where, you know, I just think that little part of it is probably something that Eddie would rather have more input in. If you know, I don't like listening to rumors, but you know, some people have said about Eddie Howe's personality that he's a bit of a, you know, he likes to have control of a lot of things. I'm not going to say he's a control freak, but he likes to, you know, he likes to have a say in it, a lot of things, which for me, that's what a manager does, and that's what they want to be. I don't blame that. It's a bit like when I manage my care home, it'd be like someone else picking who I got into care for people. You know, when I'm interviewing people, I get to pick who comes in. So if I see someone who's not good enough, am I going to hire them? No. So I can understand it from Eddie's point of view, because if you get a player in who's not great for the dressing room or whatever, that doesn't help you. You know, when you want players who are going to help the cause. And like I said, I'm sure he has some say. I'm not saying he has none, but I think he'd probably prefer more. He probably gets frustrated hearing. He probably hears the same rumours we do, and then, you know, if he's not informed about a sale, I could imagine that being upsetting. You know, let's say if Almiron goes and Eddie didn't know much about it, I can imagine that being frustrating to hear that and being like, okay, so I've lost him. Are we getting someone in or whatever? So it's it must be. I get it must be difficult to keep on top of that. I mean, all of this is guesswork on my part, but it was just small things. He doesn't normally talk a lot about that sort of stuff. And yesterday he was kind of alluding to the fact that he was left in the dark. He didn't know anything, and you know, he didn't know where we were or sales. He said the other day about Joe that we probably might have. You know, he doesn't know about Joe Linton, which is again a bit of a worry, because I don't want to lose Joe for any second, because he's so important to us. You know, no offense to Matt Targett, but we've got Matt Targett on more money than him. No offense, mate. Bin Matt Targett off and give Joe the money from that, because no offense,
he's on 100k a week.
There's one player that deserves that money, and Matt Targett's not one of them. Sorry, buddy. You know, it's just, you know, Joe deserves to be on that sort of money because he's that important to Newcastle. He really is. So I'm hoping that gets resolved, but that was a bit of a worry. It's a bit worrying where Eddie is starting to talk a bit more. I'm not saying he's unhappy, but maybe it's little communication between him and the board over press conferences, perhaps. It's a bit like Rafa, isn't it? Do you remember Rafa?
Yeah.
He was very like he's very tactical in his press conferences.
He was.
So when he's talking about Mike Ashley and like that sort of stuff, he'd always be very kind of like, let me and Mr. Ashley talk a lot, me and Mr. Charney talk a lot. Would I like more players? Of course, you know, very kind of like little crumbs of like, I'm unhappy, but he'd never come out and say like, I'm unhappy. So I'm not saying like Eddie Howe's like angry, but I just think that, yeah, I think every manager wants to control who they get in the club.
Yeah. Sorry, Leslie. I mean, we got the first bit, but not that it was kept informed. Sorry about that, but that's what I've heard. So thanks for correcting that for us, by the way. The comments were awful yesterday, atrocious last night. Glad I didn't listen to them because some of the commentaries these days are crap. They really are. Big up to Luca, by the way, big goon as well. Eddie could do a couple of stands in the door to help Eddie and his team. We need them. Absolutely right. And 3-1 to Liverpool. Who's got the third goal? Anyone? Is it Nunez again?
It's Jota, I think.
Jota. Yeah, I mean, that game is over. That game is done. And go on to the next game. Going through the players as well. We're going to go for the play ratings as well. Quickly going to rattle through them before we wrap up as well, because I know you've got a busy afternoon as well. We're going to start with Marta de Braca. For me, I thought in terms of good performance by the big Slovakian, and we had a great save from Rodrigo Nunez midway for the first half. So cracking save at a vital time. How many marks would you give him?
Yeah, I think he's come on. I think I think Alan was saying. I think it was Alan that he's kind of. It's taken him when he came in January. He was obviously rusty, and I think it's taken him a few games to get there. And I think yesterday was like quite a nice. It was nice to see because he looked a bit more like the older Bravka that we know. I think it may have taken that time to get him back up to fitness, and again, just knowing like where you want to be on the pitch and stuff. You know, having that awareness of like. Of the back four, again, like it doesn't help. Like if you keep having injuries, you don't get to build a relationship. This is why it worked so well with Nick Pope last season. That you've had the same back four pretty much for the whole season, pretty much. So it's almost unconscious when they don't, they can communicate, but because they play together so often, I remember that Dan Byrne was saying that sometimes they don't even have to talk because they just know where they're going to be. So I think that sort of stuff takes time. And yesterday, I thought was one of his better performances for us. In the box, he was much better. He wasn't losing himself in stupid land like he does sometimes. Came for the ball a few times. His distribution was really good. So I think a really solid 8 out of 10 for him. I think he was very good yesterday. And a clean sheet.
Yeah, fair enough. How many do you give him?
8 out of 10, I think.
8?
Yeah, cool I think he deserves it.
Cool stuff. Because I had no idea. I was not involved whatsoever bringing Alfie to our academy, and it's been going on for some time. That's from Lorraine, and that's a nightmare for Al. Eddie must have a say in first team players. I think. Do you agree with that?
100%. Like I said, I'm not. That's not a report for me. I'm just saying that I just don't think that any manager, any head coach these days has that same influence they used to. Because they're not a manager anymore. No. They are a head coach, so they're in charge of coaching the team. So I think that most clubs run it that way. Most big clubs do. So I think that's what Newcastle want. They want us to be a proper football club, and proper football clubs have a director of football. They have these sort of people to do that job for you. So, I'm not saying that Eddie is like different because. Pep has it that way. Klopp has it that way. It's just that's what happens in football these days. So it is what it is.
Fair enough. Fair shout. Let's go on to the back four. Let's go with Kieran Trippier. You mentioned, it was outstanding yesterday. I mean, there's a lot of speculation that he could have to Bayern Munich, but he decided to stay at Newcastle. Well, didn't decide. I mean, Newcastle turned the offer down and Bayern pulled out. And Trippier's back to his best yesterday. It wasn't the best performance, but it was a solid performance for me.
I loved it. I like I said, he's my easy stand-up man of the match. I thought he was fantastic. He's created both goals pretty much. That cross in was lovely. The corner has caused all those problems. And like I said, defensively, I thought he was very good. That one kick out when we were in big trouble. Like I said, that could so easily be an own goal if you get that wrong. And he deals with that really calmly. He was like the influence on the pitch when we were getting ourselves into a bit of a mare at times. And he was kind of telling players to calm it down and stuff. So for me, Trippier was man of the match by quite a distance. So an easy peasy 9 out of 10 for Trippier for me.
We got Kieran Trippier. Let's go on to the other side. We touched on him as well. That Fulham had lots of joy on his side. Dan Burn. My worry is he cannot play with pacey players, but he scored the second goal, the most crucial goal in the game, which won us the game. And off it, he did well. I mean, in parts, but defended well, I thought. And Eddie's going to pick him every single game, like he said. I thought got an important goal. And do you know what it is, right? I mean, one thing I'm going to say with Dan Burn, right, that Eddie's got to issue this in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, look, if Dan Burn's fit on Tuesday, I know people don't want to hear this. Dan Burn's starting against Villa. I know people don't want to hear it, but if he's fit and he's ready to go, he's starting. Sorry to bring you breaking news. But yeah, look, Dan Burn, yeah, he was getting caught here and there. He's had some decent moments in the game with tackling. He scored the important second goal that killed the game. So he's had better games for us. He's had worse games for us for definite. I think it's a bang in the middle performance from him. I need to give him a few more points for a goal, so I'll give him a 7.
Cool, fair enough. Let's go on to the centre backs. Let's go on to Fabian Schär. He got an early yellow card. He's trying to be kind of what was he doing? It's a deliberate foul. We looked around and he took him out because he knew he was going to get done for pace, and he got booked for that as well. I think he's going to get away with it, but he didn't. But he made a couple of good tackles as well, and he played us all in the clean sheet. And the distribution wasn't the best at times. I'm not going to lie to you, but I thought he had a decent game.
Yeah, again, I think this is going to be a common theme with these ratings. Schär had a typical average performance from him. He wasn't terrible and he wasn't brilliant. You know, he wasn't awful or anything, but he wasn't great either. So, look, you know, again, clean sheet, so you can't be too harsh. I think a fair 6.5. Yeah, I think that's more than fair.
6.5. Okie dokie. And let's go on to his partner in crime. I mean, he's slowly get back to his very, very best. This guy, Halfway had a brilliant game yesterday. Yeah. Defended well, slowly get back to his best. And his pass success rate is 90%. And I'll tell you what, right, I'm not being funny, but I hope he's not a fit to him with FFP. This guy is going to be one hell of a defender. I'm telling you, he's going to be 100 million plus soon. I'm telling you, if he comes on the way he is, then this guy has got to be up there. Sven Botman. Yeah,
brilliant. Again, another really outstanding performance from him. Like I said, I felt he was obviously much better than Schär. Yesterday, really, he's just a colossus. We've missed him so much. I mean, look, Lascelles did a great job when he was there, but when Botman's in the squad, you realise what we have missed. Again, his header causes the goal, so that's really good work from him. So again, you give him more points for that. And his defensive performance is very, very strong. So I think this is another easy 8 out of 10 for Botman. I think he was very good.
Great stuff. Let's go on to the next one. We're going to go for the comments before we go to the next one. By the way, Eddie wouldn't have known about incoming academy players. First team coaches don't really get involved in youth transfers. As you rightly said, Paul is not a manager of the old years. And going to, he's gone. I don't think he is. Is he gone really, Miggy?
Let me check Twitter.
I think that one must be a wind-up one. Perry Caller. If it's him, don't just ignore him, man. Nah, nothing said here.
I'm just checking, just in case. I'm checking my. Bear with me. Nothing from Keith Downey. Nothing from.
Nah.
Take that with a pinch of salt at the moment.
Have a look at Paul. Have a look at it. It says Newcastle United done it. It says Perry Caller.
Does it? Okay, fair enough.
Ignore him.
I'm looking at the accounts I trust, and none of them are reporting that Miggy's gone.
No, not at all. No, ignore that one. It's not true. That's done by Perry Caller, right? And he's a wind-up merchant on social media. So please ignore him, yeah? And Miggy is ill. That's according to Foxy.
4-1.
Game set and done. Game set and done.
Virgil van Dijk with a goal.
Wow. It was done and set and done when he got the second goal, to be fair.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the midfield, man. Fly VDs. I mean, I thought he was loose in last night, and it wasn't Bruno's best performance. I can't even lie. The last 20 minutes, I mean, he did better. He got an assist as well, but he just gave the ball away. And it was Lucius passing too. That's unlike him, you know.
I think someone put a great comment up. He's expecting the baby any minute, like literally any day. His poor missus is going to drop. So it's one of those, isn't it, where I think that's going to be playing a bit of that in there that you can't not be. You know, there's this nice little moment that Bruno went straight to Eddie after the game and was clearly in distress. That might be lack of sleep or, you know, because these things happen. So, you know, I'll let him off for a game or two. But yeah, Bruno's played better. He wasn't terrible. He wasn't good. He wasn't brilliant. Bruno, again, it's hard to give him much more than I'll give him a little bit more for an assist, but I think a 6 is probably about fair.
I'll give him up, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I was very close giving him 5 because when they give the ball away quite a few times, yeah, and it was his performance, yeah. I tell you what, wow.
Yeah, it's closer to it. It's
close to 5.5, 5.5.
Yeah, maybe a 5.5 is more fair. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, yeah. And let's go on to the next one. Let's go to young Muslili. I mean, this great piss display yesterday for the young lad. Yeah, combative. I thought tackles as well, was flying in as well. It just gets better and better. But before that, right, I'm not gonna hype him up too much. Yeah, I'm not gonna hype it. Oh, he's great. He's great. He's great. He's 17. He's got a long way to go. Yeah, long way to go. Yeah. I mean, also fans hype it up Bukayo Saka. Yeah, but it's been poor of late. Yeah, but he's going to get better and better. He's 17. He's got to progress, and he reached to his potential. I like him.
I tell you what, this kid is exciting, man. He's
just,
I mean, you know, it's scary to think that he's still learning. Like, it's just absolutely scary. So it's great. You know, he was really, really strong yesterday, I felt. So good on him. Again, just showing his worth in the club. And he's going to be, you know, he's going to be a starter as in like a confirmed like 11 from very quick, you know, from a season or two. He's away from that, you know, he's that good. He's got that much potential. Yesterday, really good performance from him. I thought he played very well. Definitely one of the better performers on the pitch. Again, he didn't obviously he didn't do anything towards that goal or anything, so I can't give him like too high. But I think a fair 7.5 out of 10 is very fair for him. I thought he was very good.
Yeah, I'll go with it as well. Miguel's gone. That's what Eddie didn't look himself yesterday. He must have knew so Alan, that is a fake account. If you look at it, like it says Newcastle United, but underneath says Perry Caller, and that is not as a fake account, mate. Simple as that. Miley Skin was up and down yesterday, inconsistent, but understandable with his age, and he's going to get better and better and better. Hi to Coffee. Hope you're well, mate. And Newcastle fans happy for the draw. We are actually. I'll take it. I'll take it all day long. I think that's a good draw for us.
It's the only problem is, well, not problem, but it's just another way. It's just another right away. And I think with Howard the tie, I think either way, I think this gets picked for TV. I think Wrexham definitely. I think Wrexham is definitely TV. Even Blackburn, because of like you said, the Alan Shearer stuff. They can replay like Alan Shearer playing for both teams, and that's quite good for TV and stuff. And you watch them put us on a Saturday again at like 7 o'clock at night. You watch them do it, and just fob off the fans again. This is what annoys me. It's not, it's not the fact we've the clubs we pulled. That's a decent result there, but like I said, it's another away day, and you watch them give us a dodgy kickoff time.
Yeah. I totally agree. Probably on Monday night at 8 o'clock on a Monday night. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm desperately trying to find an answer about Miggy. I'm asking people who I trust.
No,
so just
I'll tell you, it's Percy Caller. Ignore that Twitter account. Percy Caller is a wind-up account. Do not look at him. The best to do, go on to Newcastle United FC at NUFC. I can guarantee you it is not on there. So please trust us, guys. He's not being sold. End off. let's go on to Sean Longstaff. I thought he did well yesterday. I think it was one of his best performances yesterday. I hope he does more of that as well. And you know what? I mean, it gives balance in the midfield. I know people ain't going to agree with that. But at the end of the day, he took his goal well yesterday. And his pass success is good. And he just took care of the ball finally.
I'll tell you what, I've just seen another lovely finish just now from Norwich. It was a great finish. Excuse me, sorry, throat's going now. Unbelievable finish from him. It just showed, and Eddie said to him apparently he needs to shoot more. That's something he's talked about with him, because in training he's banging them in from distance. So more for it, because again it's a great finish right in the corner, lovely. You know, we've seen him do this before for us. You know, so he can finish quite well. So for me, more power to him. And I think he was very dogged in defence. Again, like we've already said, the problem is we're still being walked through at times in that midfield, which is still a worry. You know, that's not just Sean's fault, but you know that is a bit of a worry that we're still getting found out in that midfield. But you know, for him, I thought it's a better performance from him. I think a fair, with the goal and everything on top of that, I think a fair 7 out of 10 for Sean. I think he was decent for his performance.
Brilliant stuff. I'm just going to share this as well before we go on to the front three, right? This is, you look at that account, Newcastle United account, it says Percy Caller, right? Now, that is not an official NUFC account, yeah? I tell you that right away. It says here about what's happened, it is a wind-up account, yeah? Look how many followers people tweeting, falling for it, right? Let's be real, right? That is not a proper account, yeah? Let's be honest, yeah? Please ignore that account. It is not real, right? It's not an official NUFC account, yeah? It says at NUFC. That's the official account, not at Percy Caller, yeah? So, guys, please ignore that. Do not fall for it, okay? And that's it. Let's move on. Let's go on to the front three. Off an Anthony Gordon, I'll start with him. I thought, look, I like his energy. I love he works hard. But again, it's decision-making, poor decisions. Decision-making wasn't that great yesterday. But he did well going forward. That's what he does with it. Do you know what I mean? Caused some problems yesterday. But he should have squared it to Isak, and that would have been 3-0.
Yeah, I thought Gordon was a bit off yesterday again. Yeah, just didn't. It's a frustrating one because he, you know, when he gets pace, you know, sometimes he gets caught in 3 or 4 mines. He kind of got in behind and went for like a cross / shot. It was a very strange call from him. I don't know what he's trying. I think he's trying to shoot and he got caught in 2 mines there. Again, Gordon, he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't brilliant. I think it was an average, you know, like Alan's putting another average-ish performance from him. You know, like I said, he wasn't terrible by any means, but he wasn't great either. So I think the fairest I can be to Gordon is a 6.5.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And let's go on to the other side. Let's go on to Jacob Murphy. It's great to see him back. He looked rusty yesterday. He should have scored earlier on. But like I said, he needs to build up his match fitness. And also, at the end of the day, he had another chance. He had a goal, but it was ruled offside. But it's just good to see Jacob Murphy back in the team.
Yeah, again, no offense to Almiron. It's just nice to have a different option there because, you know, again, I'm not trying to pick on Almiron here, but it is a bit samey. Our attack is just, you know, people can just know what we're going to do all the time because he's the mainstay of it. It's a testament to his fitness that he hasn't missed many games for us at all. I mean, you know, it's unbelievable, really, with our injury record that he hasn't been injured. You know, so fair play to him for that. But again, I just think it's made us too predictable at times. Murphy brings a bit more unpredictability there. Again, the pressure was good from him for the first attack there. Again, he should have put it in the back of the net, but he didn't. It didn't matter in the end, thankfully. The second finish, or even though it was offside, was amazing. It was really good. You know, so more power to him. He was good. He had endeavour. Again, it was a performance that was obvious that he had been out for a while. He's not up to full match fitness yet, but a decent performance apart from that anyway, really. So again, can't give him too high. I don't think, I don't think anyone was like outstanding. So I think a fair, I think he was better than Bruno. So I think a fair 6.5 out of 10, I think is fair for Murphy.
Fair dues. Yeah, Pete was famous yesterday, team with Sir Alan Shearer. Big up, man. Big up. Big up to. I mean, I was at the very back, so I couldn't get close to him. I was at the very back, so it is what it is. Gordon's real threat is just that final moments was frustrating. His defensive work was a disappointment for me. Didn't help Burn much at all. Yeah, that is true. Find the pouch. Newcastle like and Harvey B. He's not playing much games already, but he's coming back to the team.
Should be back
on Tuesday.
Should be.
That'd be great. That'd be great news. Rafinha's back, and that for give him a 10 out of 10. Coffer, I knew you'd do that. I knew you'd give him 10. And Alan, what about him? Alan loves to see Liverpool, see Bruce go to Liverpool, man. He's out behind that. And really poor in all aspects, but given the benefit of the doubt. First game back, that's some Foxy on Murphy. We'll get him back in the team. Yes, we will. Effin saying hi, and let's go on. Wow. Well done, Pete. Who I missed out? Isak for me. I mean, he had one shot in the second half, straight to the goalkeeper. But other than that, good touches there. But he wasn't great yesterday. He did try. But for me, I mean, he's a little bit frustrated and he's not getting the service, and that is the thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's always called this, isn't it? In football, they call it the graveyard shift sometimes, don't they? Up front by yourself. There wasn't much of us attacking, going forward a lot. I mean, we didn't really burst often in that game. We were mainly in our own bloody half most of the game. So it's a bit, it doesn't make Isak look he had a good game because he's obviously stuck behind the ball rather than being on the ball. He was making some fantastic runs and he just kept getting ignored. I mean, his vision is very good. Like I said, the Gordon one, he didn't release it quick enough. There was a few other instances where Tino he was in with Tino as well, and Tino didn't really, he decided to run with the ball rather than pass it, which I thought was a bit of a shame because again, if he makes a decent enough pass, I think again Isaac's probably in. So some of it isn't his fault. I loved his move. I think was it the first half when he did that lovely little move when he did a bit of jockeying and got into the box and stuff. That was nice. But it's a frustrating time up there by yourself. I think this is where I'm looking forward to getting Wilson back because I think that sort of game would have suited to have Wilson and Isaac on the pitch at the same time, just because I think that works at times in certain games. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that being an option again when Wilson comes back a bit fitter. So, I thought Isak was, like I said, he wasn't brilliant, but I don't think it's his fault. I'm not going to be too harsh on him because it's not as if he had loads of chances and fluffed them all and whatever. He hardly had a ball to kick, bless him, and that's not all his fault. I think he did fine defensively again on the corners. He was getting to balls and being good defensively and had a good, he helped the team. So I think a fair 7 out of 10 for Isaac.
Fair enough. And there's only one sub. Tino came on, and I think it came on, and for Trippier, I think I might be wrong, but he came on and he looked good without looking spectacular.
Yeah, did he come on for Murphy?
I think he did. You're right. Came on for Murphy. You're right. And then Richie did. I think Richie came on late.
Richie came on for Trips because Trips had a slight
going.
Apparently, it's nothing. I do get worried when Eddie says nothing because we've heard that before, but
yeah,
it didn't look like it was that bad. I think it was just a bit of fatigue, which it is what it is. So I think Trips will be fine. I mean, Liverpool, like I said, I felt he played quite well. Like I said, a little bit frustrating here and there with some of the balls out there, but it's not his natural position, so not going to be too hard on him. So I think he was fine. I think we need him in the 11. I think he's someone who benefits our 11 very much. So I think it's someone who I'd like to see get more games for us, because he's crying out to be in the start 11, isn't he? So that's what you like to see, a bit of passion. So I think Tino was fine. Again, he didn't come on for long enough to give him too high of a mark. I think a fair 6 out of 10. That's not me being harsh. I just think he wasn't on a pitch for long enough to give him much higher.
Cool. You know it works, guys. We're going to give the ratings to the manager as well. And if you don't like the ratings, try some more. And we do a countdown to 3, 3, 2, 1, and just give a number. So it's a 3, a 2, and 1.
8 out of 10 for Eddie, I think.
Yeah, I say 8 as well. I take it back. I just revalue that. I thought again, I mean, didn't use much of a subs, didn't he? Like, you know what I mean? But he got his team selection spot on as well. Jake's coming back through an injury. He came through that, and just got the 3 points, so we have to accept him, man. What about you, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, look, like I say, it wasn't a. I think he looked frustrated with the performance, Eddie, in the match conference. I saw, you could see that he wasn't. He was happy with the defensive stuff, and so was I. I felt we managed the game a lot better in the second half. We actually went to that back 5 that we've been saying this for ages.
Yeah.
If we're winning and we're winning a game, and we just want to see out the game, sometimes I know it's not the most attractive thing to do, but just go to a back 5, protect yourself. We've been caught out. How many goals have been scored in the 80th minute plus for us? Do you know what I mean? It's so frustrating, like winning by a goal and then you get a draw or you get beat or whatever it might be. Like, that's been our story of the season so often, when we've been winning or drawing or whatever, and then 80th, 90th minute we're getting a goal scored against us, and it kills our, just absolutely kills our game. So I like to see that. I like to see that that's been talked about. We were winning 2-0. We were very comfortable, but I like the fact that we were trying to manage the game, because Fulham were still trying. They had chances. They had that. We let them have that terrible chance at the end that they should have really scored at. Really, he's 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and it's a terrible finish. It really is bad. We're lucky that. Sorry, here we go. Every time I'm on, there's always police. We're lucky that Fulham can't finish their dinner, because they had enough chances to win that game. Even if we scored 2, Fulham could have scored 3, really, but they just don't. This is the problem with Fulham. They just don't have. They've got Jimenez, but he's not exactly someone I'd call prolific as a goal scorer, and they don't have anyone else who can really put the ball in the back of the net that much. They're very attractive to watch as a side. I like watching. They were nice to watch yesterday. They've got some nice on the ball, and they play some nice football. So it was an entertaining game from that that process. But Marco Silva will be ruined the fact that they just don't have a ruthless person up front. At the end of the day, we've won that game pretty much because we've been more clinical than them, and that's it. That's the only thing that's won it for us, is that. So
yeah. I mean, that Williams strike was a great goal, but it was ruled offside. And
it was great, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah,
he's a class player. 35, and he still got it. He still got it, man. But so the fans, for me, I'm going to give them a 10.
Oh, they were great.
10 fans are amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I didn't get any criticism from YouTube here as well. So maybe I walked in before the stage. I was walked with 2 other lads as well. Angola Geordie's one of them. Met him yesterday. Big up to the big guy. Do you know what I mean? Great guy. I just wanted to
clarify for some people as well. So a Fulham fan asked me very politely, and I'm going to agree. That's fine. No problem at all. A Fulham fan just wanted me to clarify, because he said that it would have looked a bit of a shambles for some people who didn't, because if you don't follow Fulham, I guess you wouldn't know. So a lot of the fans had a choice of not going. This is why it was so empty in the ground.
Yeah.
So the tickets were, I think, £40 for a ticket for the home side. And obviously that's disgusting in an FA Cup. Ridiculous. And the fans, quite rightly, were choosing their option to protest against that. Hence why there were so many empty seats, because the fans were actively not going to the game. And he just wanted me to clarify that, because he said that it might have looked a bit like Tim Pot. They didn't care about the FA Cup or whatever. He said it's nothing to do with that. It's mainly that the fact they're trying to protest against this, barbaric, big hike in prices, which I completely stand by that choice. I think that's actually, a very sensible reason for doing it. So fair play to the Fulham fans. I just wanted to clarify that because a few people were giving the fans a bit of stick, and I get it, but they were doing it for a genuine reason. So fair play to them for trying something, because that's the hope. If it does work, then fair play to Fulham. But yeah, the fans were Newcastle fans. That's all I could hear for the whole game. Literally on ITV, they had the microphones turned up. So thank you for ITV for getting that bit right, because you could only hear the Newcastle fans. I just wish they would have turned the microphone off of Lee Dixon, because he's a bit of an idiot. He just, wow, the whole game. Anyone who watched the coverage will say in the comments with me, he spent the entire 90 minutes saying how bad we were, how terrible we were. Like I said, when he's given man the match, he wanted to give it to a Fulham player, even though we were winning 2-0.
Yeah, another Newcastle hater as well. Hater as well. You know what? They can all get in because you know what? We're going to be here for a long time. And you know what? Next season, we're going to push on. We're going to push on next season, because I don't think we're going to qualify for Europe. I hope I'm wrong. But if we don't, then we're going to concentrate and go for the top 4 and don't play too many games as well. But you know what? I'm looking forward to already seeing these seasons. But our season's still alive. We can still win the FA Cup. And I'm feeling confident. We can do it. Must have been a long and late journey back for our fans. I've got back at 1:30, because Uxbridge Tube Station was shut yesterday. I had to get a bus from Ealing Broadway, 45 minutes from there, all the way to Uxbridge. Another 5-minute walk to my car as well. But hey ho, we had to say when Mike Ashley was in charge in Newcastle about not going to games yet.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I still go to games as well. You're absolutely right, Alan. You're absolutely right. But COVID has absolutely killed us as well. And did you see Craig Hope's winding Mark Silver up to this question about the real handball? And he stormed off. I tell you what, Hopey is not very popular, is he? Do you know what I mean?
He's not.
He's not the Charlie Watts. He's not the Charlie Watts of journalism. Do you know what I mean?
He got Marcus Silver's version of, are you calling me a liar? Are you calling me a liar? he got the Steve Bruce treatment. But fair play to him. Because he's not wrong. I mean, I've put it in my little thing. Cry more. It does my head in when they moan on about this stuff. Look, it's hit his hand. Yes, I agree with that. But what's he meant to do? Sever his hand off? Because he can't do anything. Bruno hasn't done this to the ball to pass it to Sean. It's right by his side. It's hit him here. What are you meant to do? You can't not have a hand in football. You have. Do you know what I mean? It annoys me when they get upset about these decisions. I'm sorry. What is Bruno Guimaraes meant to do in that situation? I don't understand. Unless he severs his own arm off so it doesn't hit it, I don't know what you're meant to do. It's not a handball. It's not, and it does my head in when they moan on about it, and he's crying on about it, going, "Oh, well, what do you think? What do you think it is? What do you think it is?" If Fulham scored that goal, would he be bitching about it? Of course he wouldn't.
Definitely wouldn't. I mean, this guy, honestly, it's just a cucaracha. That guy is an absolute whopper. He really is. I'm sorry, Fulham fans, but if he's got the Vass's attitude, do you know what I mean? He is just getting worse and worse and worse. I'm telling you. Great manager, but his attitude and having to go at people and walking out to the press conference lacks some class. It's as simple as that. Yeah. Answer the question. If you don't answer the question, just say, yo, I don't want you to answer that question. Thank you very much indeed.
Move on to the next question. Yeah.
You got Foxy. Can't blame Silver. Can imagine the pressure these guys are under as manager. Difficult to blame yourselves for defeat. It's natural to look for excuses. That's from Foxy. It's got an opinion. It's got an opinion. So
we'll have an opinion here.
Everyone's got opinions, but at the end of the day, right, if you can't handle it and you walk out stadiums at the press conference, it's not going to be a good look. And I think Mark also should get on that phone and apologise to Craig. But Willie, I doubt it. So on that bombshell, we're going to wrap up the show there. And I was going to talk about Marcus Silver all day as a Newcastle channel, not a Fulham channel. But you know what your plans you got today, man?
I've got the American stuff at 9:00 tonight. So that's been fun doing that. And then work in the morning. Yeah, so get ready for work. And then another busy week at work. But yeah, just then looking forward to Tuesday night for the Villa game. I mean, that's going to be a tough game. That they're a good side and they're very good at home. So offer me a draw right now and I'll run with it. To be honest with you, I really would run away with a draw right now because Villa have been phenomenal at home. Their record there is very good, so it's going to be a very tough game. I just hope they play that same silly high line like they do, because we can really get at them. But we'll get into that on Monday.
Yeah, definitely. Do that tomorrow, 7 o'clock for the preview show. That's me, Paul, and of course, Joe from AV, for Aston Villa fan as well. And if you do check out that Chet already did that fan cam of him after the game, he was not happy at all whatsoever. He was not happy. But I tried to cheer him up though at the end of the day. But you know what? I'll be happy to go on anyone's channel as well. I'll go on it as well from different fans, so I would love to do that as well. So I do go on Arsenal channels as well, Liverpool channel, United channel. You know what? I get invites all the time, which is great. So you gotta love Leslie as well. I called her Jules the other day and not Leslie.
No.
So I'm on Leslie. I'm on your good books, Leslie. Let me know.
You're not.
I hope so. We love Leslie, don't we? Love Leslie, don't we? She speaks bloody sense, yeah. Should be the prime minister. She'd do a bloody good job and all. Oh, bless her. And then big up to coffee. Bye to you, mate. You have a good day. I'm Mafinio's favorite player. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Little. See if you've got any more jokes like where Steve Bruce is going to end up. And he goes, well, Leslie's laughing. Yes, Leslie. We love Leslie laughing. You know what I mean? But I'll listen to Leslie. If she speaks, always listen. Even Leslie agree with us. And thank you very much to Adam as well. So where can we find you on socials, man? So people can find you, for those who don't know.
Yeah, it's at Blank Canvas PC. A lot of the lovely people of this very nice community do follow me already. If you're new to the channel, though, I appreciate that. Tell everyone about it. This is what we want. We want more people to get on here. This is a forum where we want people to have opinions, and we don't scream at you for having one. We don't call you an idiot for having an opinion. We like you having an opinion at this channel. And we don't call you idiots or clueless if you have one. If you disagree with what I say, I'll listen to your point of view and not scream at you. So that's why we're the best podcast here. But yeah, so tell everyone about it. Get it all around there because, yeah, it deserves, we're nearly at 7.2. We're on the road to 10. We deserve 10. We deserve 20. We deserve 30. We deserve 50. Adam,
absolutely.
The last deserve 50.
That's the dream. 50,000 subs. That's the dream, man. That's the dream. I'll be happy for 15K. That'd be amazing. Yeah. If I can get 15K. Well, I've got nearly 22 on social media. So hopefully if we can get half of that, come on, man, that'd be amazing. But I'll keep jumping
you guys are the ones that make it happen. Like all the guys that come in the chat, you're just a phenomenal bunch of people. You come to every single one. You're always supportive. If I put stuff on social media, you're always really supportive. You come along to other things I do or John does. It's just for you can't ask for a better community than we have. I'm sorry, it's second to none. So thank you so much, and please keep it coming because we do appreciate it.
Absolutely, totally agree, Paul. Thank you very much for that, man. Good show, guys. Take care to Foxy and Mickey as well, of course. He has to get Mickey in there as well. I told you Bruce for Liverpool. I told Alan, if he does go to Liverpool, right, let me know. But he's a United legend. I can't see him going to Liverpool somehow. We never know. Chips has ongoing groin injury, nothing new, and he's playing with it for a while. I think we kind of know that as well. But big up to Trips, by the way, for coming out as well. The best NESC shows out there. Thank you, Alan, as well. And I appreciate that as well. So, guys, thanks for watching as usual. Newcastle beat Fulham 2-0 yesterday. Leave your comment section down in the comments as well. And tell us what you think of the show. Share the content as well, please. That'd be amazing. If you like the video, like what you watch, make sure you like and subscribe. And always have a fantastic